everyone, it's Maria Young here and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me right here at My Orchid and also My Plant Adventures. And in today's episode, we are going to be featuring the Super Sansevieria. The plant of steel, and yes indeed it should wear an S on its chest for how durable, how strong and powerful and also practically indestructible it is. We're going to be talking all about it, then I'm going to be proving and also disproving some of the rumors that you've heard about the Super Sansevieria. Okay, so first it should be noted that there are about 70 different varieties of your Sansevierias, and they come in different shapes and sizes, also variations of patterns and striations. You can find them growing very, very tall, and you can also find them more compact and also very, very small. So there is a Sansevieria for everyone. The best thing about having a Sansevieria is the fact that it is practically indestructible. I am not kidding you, folks. I'm telling you, this can tolerate so many variations of lighting conditions, weather conditions, watering or lack thereof conditions. This is what I consider a very industrial plant. When the world comes to an end, only cockroaches and this right here, the Sansevieria, will be the final survivors. I'm telling you guys. And I have living proof of how hardy they are and how much they can withstand no care, no maintenance at all for about 5 to 8 years. This has gone through it right here. Oh, so you guys want me to dish the dirt and give you the full scoop of just how much I neglected this plant right here. Skip the other stuff, right? Well, all right then, you win. Let's go ahead and talk about exactly what happened to this and how it survived. Dun-dun-dun-dun! And this right here, guys, is my Super Sansevieria. Super Sansevieria. Super. Now, this plant right here, I got a good 5 to 8 years ago. I can't even quite remember exactly when I got it because at the time that I purchased it, I was not so much interested in the plant, but instead more interested in the container, of which I got for $2 buckaroonies, of course, including all of these Sansevierias in here. And as you can see, it's quite a community of them, an assortment of Sansevierias. Now, my intention was I was supposed to plant this up within my garden, and within this container I would pot up some interesting plants in here as well, but that was not the case. What actually happened is this got shoved underneath a bush, completely forgotten about, out of sight, out of mind, and guys, I just didn't even remember it was even there. So 5 to 8 years later, and here we are. This has actually only been potted within this container for 2 months. But not only that, surprisingly, there was even more plants within this container. Yes, indeed. We also had these two Sansevieria whale fins right here along with their tubers, as you can see. And take a look at this. Oh, a cute little baby whale fin right there. How cute. But not only that, guys, take a look in this container right here, because we also have 2 more Sansevieria rhizomes right here that were also in that pot. But not only that, believe it or not, guys, we actually have all of these rhizomes right here from that container. And I would say there's a good 8 rhizomes in here, a good 2 to 3 inches in length, except for this one, of course. This is a bromeliad rhizome. So for those of you guys that don't know, you can also propagate bromeliads from their rhizomes as well. But again, these are all of the rhizomes that were also in that container. And if we take a look, you're also going to notice those Sansevieria growths that are beginning to come about as well. So yeah, all of this and also all of these just absolutely unbelievable. And I have to tell you, it was just so jam-packed in this container. I literally had to break the pot trying to get it out. And the rhizomes were absolutely ridiculous. This whole thing was filled with rhizome, and they were just wrapped around and around in here. So what I just basically did is cut them down to size and propagated them, and then of course repotted it in a more comfortable situation. And if we take a look within this container right here, you are seeing absolutely no type of drainage hole at all. And believe it or not, even during our rainy season where we're getting like monsoon conditions where it's raining day after day, weeks on end, and even without any drainage, this right here managed to survive. And yes, because this grew outdoors and was completely neglected and forgotten about, this was also susceptible to our drought season as well, in which we do receive, where we will have a dry spell for weeks on end as well. And again, this survived with flying colors, guys. Because this was kept under a bush and forgotten about completely, this plant also did not receive any type of fertilizer at all. This is living proof, guys, living proof at how hardy this can be. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the extreme temperatures that this can actually tolerate. Because this remains outdoors and because we are here in Florida, temperatures can actually get above 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer season, and also during the winter season we can dip as low as 20 degrees and sometimes even below that, experiencing frosty conditions. And guess what, guys? Winter, spring, summer, fall, this right here survives it all. And when we talk about lighting conditions, this again proves true when it comes to being very tolerant with a variation of it. Now, as I stated, this one in particular remained underneath a bush with very, very shady conditions, and as you see, it survived without a problem. And because we are in Florida, you can actually see these grown within landscape and in direct and full sunlight. Now, of course, if you are planting this or growing this directly in sunlight, you do risk the fact that the leaves can burn or become bleached or become tattered and worn, so I wouldn't suggest it, but it can tolerate it. Now, I will have to say, because I have developed quite a love, a respect, and an appreciation for the Sansevieria, the conditions that I had kept it in the past will no longer be, because I do want this plant at tip-top condition, as healthiest as possible. So there is a little bit of maintenance that is involved if you want it at its prime condition, but of course, again, very little of it, because this plant does not require a lot of attention at all. And of course, this is by no means a care video, so don't get it twisted, guys. This is actually a video that tells you what not to do, okay? Don't do what I did. But what I am trying to showcase here is just how durable, how strong, and how this plant is just so amazing in the regards that it is quite the survivor. And if you are a type of person that has a hard time with plants, I would definitely recommend this plant for you. Again, this is practically a plant that no one can kill, not even you or me, because it's still alive. Okay, guys? But before I do bid my farewell, I do want to give you guys just a couple of tips on how to grow this plant right here. Now, please note that this is a succulent plant. So as succulent plants, they do like to stay more on the drier end. And you should only water this plant when it does become dry. Watering this plant about once every 2 weeks to once a month should be sufficient. Also, as far as the lighting condition goes, even though it is said that this is a lower light plant, it can actually tolerate tolerate lower light, but it does prefer higher light conditions. So bright indirect sunlight will actually allow this plant to grow at its best. Also, as far as fertilizers, you can fertilize this plant about once a month. And as far as temperature goes, about 60 to 80 degrees is great for this plant. And the best substrate for this plant would be some form of soil-based media that would allow fast drainage. Okay, so buses are coming now. It's driving me crazy. Oh my gosh, I just want to get done with this video. Can I please just get done with this video? Okay, back to the grind. Okay, so I do have to tell you that these plants right here are very popular in Florida. And if you did like this video, please give this a sunshine and a star. The little bitty train that couldn't. And there you have it, folks. That is the full scoop about the Sansevieria, at least mine, of course. And I hope that you do have a better understanding of exactly what the Sansevieria is all about and how much they can actually tolerate. And I want you guys to know that this is such a wonderful plant, very easy to care for, and such a rewarding plant as well. As you can see, it is really quite gorgeous. Hoping that you guys, if you haven't already, give this wonderful plant a try. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me right here at My Orchid Adventures, and I am hoping that you guys liked this video. If you did, please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe. Also join me on my Facebook and also Instagram adventures as well. And with that being said, I will see you guys later on my next adventure. Bye-bye for now. Mwah.